welcome to the channel again. This is the second video, so I'm still pretty new at this, so please excuse the unpolishedness and the lack of preparation, if you will. I'm still trying to get like a routine and stuff, but I promise that I will get better each time, so please bear with me. I wanted this video to be about it's not going to be a car related video. It's going to be something more about like life and more philosophical stuff. So having said that, let's just get right into it. So I think the best thing to acknowledge is maybe the reason why I'm making YouTube videos. So I've actually wanted to do this for a couple years, but I never really did at that time because one, it's the whole concept was a little bit new to me. I wasn't prepared myself, to be honest, and even more importantly, that was not my priority at that time. At that time, I had a serious relationship, and both of my parents were alive. And so that just never, I just never had the time for that because, it wasn't the priority. A lot of things have changed now, and I have a lot more time on my hand. And so that's why I want to kind of experiment and maybe get into what I've always wanted to do. So that's why I created this channel, and that's why I've started to get into this stuff. As far as the video itself, so like I said, the last video I made was kind of just an introduction to what the channel would be, what my content would be. But this is the first time that I'm making a philosophical video. And so, sorry about that. Anyway, so this is the first video that I'm really making about philosophical stuff. And so I wanted to start off by saying that, there's a couple of points that I want to address in this video. The first one is, what makes you happy? How do you find happiness? I feel like that's a question that we're all trying to answer. And I'm not saying that I have the response or that I have the correct answer for that, but I can at least share what I've done for myself. What I've done for myself is mainly just stopping and thinking about what made me happy as a kid. As a kid, you're kind of, I don't want to say that you're on your own, but I feel like it's very different, or it's very common to see kids happy by themselves, right? It's only as teenagers that, we start thinking that, hey, I need to hang out with this crowd, or I need to do this, or, stuff like that. It's also the age where social media comes into our lives, usually, for me at least. And I think social media has a big thing to do with all of this, because what I've found myself, and even for others, is that when you're not on social media or when you're not that active on it, you're actually happier because you stop comparing and you stop acknowledging what you already have going for yourself. So for example, you see someone who's got a really nice athletic body and they've got a Lamborghini, and it looks like that they have their entire life put together, and you just tell yourself that you don't. I don't think that's entirely true, because most people are usually the same. It may look like that they have their stuff put together, but usually it's probably not. And so I think that's one comforting thing for all of us, is that none of us have life figured out. If we did, we probably wouldn't be on Earth. So that's one thing to think about. The other thing to think about is going back to the whole kid thing. When you look back and when you reflect on what made you happy when you were younger, it's probably going to be the same thing that makes you happy even today. I feel like for certain core things like that, people usually don't change. I can say that about myself because at one point, well, actually not at one point, I'm really big into cars, and I also really enjoy riding bikes. And so when I stop and think about it today, I'm really happy when I drive my car and when I go biking, like on a trail or whatever, like all by myself. And so I'm willing to bet that it's probably going to be the same thing for you guys as well. That whatever made you happy when you were in 3rd grade, it's probably going to be the same thing or something really similar, you know, something that makes you happy even like now. The other thing I wanted to talk about is I saw a video about a month ago on Acta's channel. I think you guys should check her out. She's got some really good content, and her channel is exclusively about self-improvement and you know, just how to live a healthier life, emotionally healthier life, and stuff like that. That's one thing that really helped me a lot. And so one of the things in her videos was, you know, you're comparing yourself to social media or in social media, and it goes into something similar that we just talked about right now. So I'm not going to get into it again. But just to add on to that, my answer to her question is, whenever you find yourself getting into like, hey, this person has this, why can't I have that, or what's wrong with me? The moment you start feeling really strongly about that, and the moment it starts to take a toll or impact on you, that's when you need to stop looking at social media and just start doing something that you enjoy or something that you're good at. And I think that's probably the best thing, because that's what I do. Whenever I see myself comparing myself to others, and whenever I started feeling like whenever I start feeling it get to me, I just shut my phone off and I just go out for a drive, and that usually makes me a lot happier. So that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. The last thing I wanted to talk about is just a thought. If you need to rely on someone else for your happiness, you're setting yourself up for failure, or you're setting yourself up to getting hurt or not being happy. What I've found recently is that when you put your happiness in someone else's hands, it doesn't work out. And that's kind of the root cause, or that's kind of the reason why you need to go back and reflect on what really makes you happy. And you need to act on it yourself and do it yourself. We all enter this world alone. And then we all leave this world alone as well. And so that's just something to think about. I'm not sure if today's video is going to be the best video to really talk about it in that much detail, but I think it's at least a good thought to keep digesting on, you know, taking bits and pieces and just digesting it as time goes on. So I think that's probably a good closing point today, or for today, is that you're in charge of your own life. Do what makes you happy. Don't let your happiness be dictated by someone else. And I feel like if those things can be done, I think you're at least ahead of me, or were ahead of me at one point. So appreciate the views. You know, if you have any thoughts, comments, whatever, leave that in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you're thinking and what your thoughts are. And if you have any suggestions, again, please go ahead and leave that down below as well. But I hope that you have a good rest of your day, have a productive week, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.